Today's people, Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman's just
Mr. Olympia.
freak of nature. I mean, come on, he saved it up all those years to 1998 to jump all over me, Flex, and Kevin. I'm not going to say Ronnie came out of the woodworks because Ronnie was there all along. And I remember the days when I saw Ronnie Coleman, you know, coming through the turnstile, getting ready to come on stage and do his little whatever kind of posing routine that was he used to do back in the day. But when Ronnie decided to bite the bullet, and I knew he was biting it back in '96, he was coming on strong. I got second that year. Ronnie Coleman was lurking in the wind, but I said that Ronnie Coleman was like 100-to-1 long shot in '98 when Dorian Yates had retired. And I think that's probably what added a lot of fuel to his gas tank, because since '98, Ronnie Coleman's been unfadable.
Dorian Yates.
Dorian's an interesting character. I mean, you know, me and Dorian had our run-ins a couple of times, 1994, 1996, where, you know, he won a couple of controversial decisions, in my opinion, at the Mr. Olympia. In '94, I thought I had Dorian on the ropes. You know, he tore his bicep. He was a little overweight, had a pretty big midsection at the time. He certainly wasn't the Dorian of '93 that came on and killed everybody. And I thought I was going to take him out that year, and everybody thought that too. And I think after that contest, I resented Dorian for winning, and I didn't realize it wasn't his fault for winning. You know, the judges picked the winner, but I resented Dorian for actually beating me when he shouldn't have, in my opinion, because he was an incomplete bodybuilder with a torn bicep, which is a glaring weakness, and he was a little overcarbed, which made his stomach a little bit bloated. I thought, you know, those are two major areas that you can knock the champion down, and those two should take me to the promised land. So I didn't really like him. And, you know, then in '96, I thought, I'll take him out again. You know, '95, I missed my peak, but '96, I thought I had him on the ropes. I came up second once again. So there was some resentment building up. Me and Dorian didn't talk. We lived in two separate countries. We didn't travel in the same circles. You know, he's 5'11", 270. I'm 5'7", 210. We're two total opposites. So there's no really comparison. You have me and him. It's not even a close contest. It's either him or it's me. And in those 2 years where he beat me, I started to resent him a lot. And I thought, he's never going to beat me again. And in '97, Dorian tore his tricep to go along with his bicep. And he came in considerably heavier as a result of the injuries that were taking its toll on his physique. And he managed to win the Olympia in '97 with literally perfect scores. And I thought, this is unfathomable. How can this guy win the contest? He can come in a wheelchair and win the show. And I was really pointing my finger at him, when all the while, the finger should have been pointed in the front rows. But at that time, I resented Dorian more than I could resent anybody else. And you know what? It was never his fault for winning the Olympia. But you have to remember, Joe, that in the heat of the battle, the passion that I have for this sport, Dorian Yates is the only man that stopped me from fulfilling my dream of becoming Mr. Olympia. And if I never get second again, it won't be too soon, because second place is the worst place for you to be on that Olympia stage, disregarding the prize money. Most people are like, you should be happy, you should be thankful, it's $50,000, you're second in the world. Second place sucks. And there's a frustration it brings with you, there's an attitude it brings with you, and there's a major, major depression and disappointment it brings with you. And Dorian was that source of frustration for me, both of those 2 years, where I disliked him. I didn't like his tattoos, I didn't like his torn bicep, I didn't like him, I didn't like his physique, I didn't like it. I turned the page when I saw his picture. Ironically, Dorian's been retired since 1997. We've come full circle. Dorian and I are right now in the process of partnering up and opening a powerhouse gym in Las Vegas. Right now, doing business together, exchanging dollars. But when you're in the heat of the bodybuilding, industry, and you're on stage and it's competitive, there's a lot of people you don't like for various reasons. It could be the fact that he's got on the red trucks and so do I. You know, how dare he? But no, Dorian's cool now. We come full circle, man. He's a different person. He's lightened up. He's able to sit back and you know, get removed from the bodybuilding world and be Dorian Yates, and he's not a bad guy at the end of the day.